Hey there, it's Blaine with Seven Sons. It's a cold January day out here, but as you can see, the cattle, they don't think anything of it. They're just laying down in the tall grass, relaxing. They've got them thick winter hides. But the reason I wanted to shoot this video today is because this is harvest day on the farm. I want to talk to you about how the process leading up until the time of harvesting an animal can actually have a direct effect on the quality of the meat that you buy. So let me give you a couple examples that'll make a lot of sense to you once you hear them. First of all, if an animal is scared or stressed or traumatized leading up until the time of harvest, that animal will have far more adrenaline in its bloodstream, and that will actually directly affect the flavor of the meat itself. And then think about it, if an animal is tense, the muscle fibers will be tense and closer together, and that affects the tenderness of the meat as well. So imagine that. Not only is it the right thing to do to care for these animals, to give them a good life, but it also affects the quality of the meat as well, especially leading up until that time of harvest. So what I want to do in this video is I want to share with you the steps that we take and the great lengths that we go to ensure that the welfare standards that we maintain here at Seven Sons is carried out all the way through up until the time of harvest. And also I want to talk about the steps that we take to ensure the traceability of our product all the way through the food chain. That way, when you sit down to cook our food for your family and sit down to eat, you can eat with confidence knowing that the integrity was maintained through every step of the food chain. First of all, harvest day starts with getting the animals up closer to the corral, and we're dealing with much smaller numbers, so we're taking much more time with each animal. Typically on harvest day, we'll load up maybe 5 to 10 individual beef animals and maybe 15 to 20 hogs, and we're able to give them and keep them as calm as possible during that whole process. And we're actually in control of the process of loading and actually delivering to the animals to the harvester in our own truck and trailer. Once the animals arrive, we are sure that they are comfortable and they have water to drink and that they remain calm. And one of the most important things that we can do as a farm is to be sure that we're partnering with other family businesses that will carry out the welfare standards that we can trust to maintain the integrity of our animals and the product all the way through each step of processing. So we actually work with 2 different processors. It first starts with the actual harvesting facility, which is located in Scotts, Michigan. The name of the family business, it's actually located on another farm. It's called Pease Packing. You can look them up, and they're actually open to the public, and they have a little on-farm store with a little butcher shop there. You can actually visit this place. So it's very important that we choose to partner with someone that we can trust. We want to make sure that the facilities are clean and up to date. We want to make sure that the staff is well trained so that as they carry out the harvesting process, it's done efficiently and as pain-free and humane as possible. Now, once the animals are harvested, that's where the traceability is key and comes into play. Immediately after harvest, each of the beef carcasses or whatever animal we're harvesting on that day is immediately tagged with an ID. And that includes information for us about the animal so we can track that back to the health records, and that ID tag stays with the carcass through every step of the way. So what happens next is we then transport the carcasses about 45 minutes north of Scotts, Michigan to Byron Center Meats in Byron Center, Michigan. And this is another company that's been great to work with, owned by the Stitzma family there. You can actually visit Byron Center Meats, and what's really neat is if you did visit them, if you walk into their shop, you'll first see a glass window where you can see the actual processing and cutting up of the steaks and the roasts actually take place in there, and you can see the cleanliness of their facility and the integrity in which they carry out their work. But once the carcasses arrive there in Byron Center, Michigan, each carcass is again re-identified. We double check the tags and the weights to make sure everything checks out. And the folks at Byron Center, we've actually asked them to go ahead and photograph every single carcass that comes through along with the ID tag next to it. The carcasses are then dry aged, which is very unique. Very little beef in the US these days is dry aged, but we'll dry age for about 5 to 10 days in a very controlled environment, and that actually really aids in the tenderness of the meat as well as the flavor. So after that dry aging process, the carcasses are then railed into that cutting room that, again, you can actually see this room if you stopped in there. And that's where the craftsmanship and the skill sets of the folks that work there at Byron Center, they really do a great job as they carve up all the steaks and the roast and trim everything and make everything just perfect before it's then packaged. Each package is then labeled and weighed and put in a case, and then it's flash frozen. And then every week or every couple weeks, one of the staff members at Seven Sons, or maybe one of my brothers, will drive up to Byron Center Meats with our delivery van, and we'll pick up all the fresh beef or pork, bison, or lamb that we're processing that week and bring it back to the farm where it's maintained in our custody, our control, until it's put in a box for delivery to your door. So there you have it. That's the entire process involved. Happy to answer any questions you might have, and happy to share the transparency involved in this entire process. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned a lot about buying quality beef.